I'm Garrett Adams, and welcome to our first edition of Movies for Squares news broadcast. Forecasting, a very stressful time. With so many classes to choose from and only a few credits available, it can be hard to know what to take and what not to take. Here at San Barlow, the most popular elective is Intro to Foods, but as we all know, it is incredibly hard to get into. I was denied 3 years. 3 years. But after 3 years, you discover other electives that provide greater long-term benefits. As forecasting is just around the corner, we need some answers. Here to inform us on this topic, we are joined by Senior Electives correspondent Jacob Rivas. Jacob.
Hello, Garrett.
So, as upcoming 8th graders are currently heading to Barlow, there seems to be a problem. What class are they going to take? What would you recommend?
Well, you see, that's an easy question. And as soon as you said that right now, 3 things immediately came to mind. Woodshop, metals, and automotive technologies.
What's so great about these classes?
Garrett, are you serious?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Allow me to demonstrate.
It's a little known fact that Intro to Foods is the most popular class at San Barlow. After that, it's Woodshop, metals, and automotive technology.
However, I just couldn't figure out why. So to begin my research, I recently sat down with a metals teacher.
Metals class is amazing because it's one of the few classes where you're going to come in every day and, well, not every day, but most days, and you're going to physically make something with your hands and with your mind.
Wow. Well, it's been my life dream to use a blowtorch. How often do students get to do such activities like that?
In Metals 1, you get to use a blowtorch on occasion. In Metals 2, 3, and 4, you're going to use a blowtorch more commonly. And a blowtorch is used to cutting. It's used for cutting. So when we need to take a section of piece or a piece of metal, fire up the blowtorch, melt what separates the metal, and then you have your piece.
Would you say that metals is an amazingly rare find that most students don't stumble upon? Like a metal needle in the haystack of life?
You know, it's funny you should mention that because, yes, the metals classes and the offerings we have here at Barlow are not real common, and many kids are not going to have the opportunity to take a metals class in their 4-year high school. So you got to take advantage of that opportunity, and it's a really good opportunity to get some kind of hands-on learning for future employment.
Metals, the hidden piece of needle in the haystack of life. Alright, well, what types of life skills are developed in these metals classes?
Life skills, working with your hands. You can always, something always needs to be fixed when you own a home. And when you start learning the basics of how things are made and how to run things, how to work things, then you're going to increase the probability that you're not going to have to pay to have something fixed later. And a lot of the specifics and a lot of the theories that you're going to learn in other classes are directly applied right here. And so that just re-emphasizes the learning that you're going to have in other classes.
That's good, that's good. So you make things out of metal and metals, of course.
Yes.
Things like stop signs and license plates, maybe?
Yes, we have a casting process where we melt aluminum into its melting point, and then we pour it back into the mold, and it hardens, and you can make a do not enter sign, a stop sign, a caution sign, a one-way sign.
Wow, that's really cool. What kinds of things are you not allowed to make, though?
No weapons, nothing that's school inappropriate.
So we can definitely cross medieval weapons off the list?
Yes, yes, yes. Swords, weapons of mass destruction, other types of things are definitely not appropriate for school.
I see.
I'm sorry. It's a real downer.
Yeah. Well, in short, why is metals better to take than classes such as Intro to Foods?
I don't want to compete with necessarily all classes, but I think that metals is one of the unique opportunities that you're going to have in your 4-year career at Barlow. It gives you an opportunity to use fire in a very productive way, and it's something that I think you're going to walk away with a lot of experience, a lot of fun, and a lot of things that you're going to be able to use later in life.
I was finally achieving my dream, being able to use a blowtorch. Dun dun dun. Without metals, how would a class like Automotive Technologies even be possible? It couldn't be. And getting school credit for working on cars? What would be more fun? Not much. Not much. But what are they getting taught to them in auto class? Paul Radke explains.
I try to teach my students in a way that doesn't force them to go into a mechanical, auto mechanic career. Mechanics covers everything in our society. People work on elevators, people work on medical equipment, people work on everything that we use in our society.
I see. And so what types of things do you do in the intro automotive technologies classes?
First thing we do is we study what is the car made of? What are the materials it's made of? How do we hold it together? What are the materials and how do we fasten the unit together? It's a rude understanding of how to take it apart and working with how it goes together, nuts and bolts and threads. You've got to tighten it correctly, otherwise the final assembly doesn't hold together, it doesn't last.
Alright. Many first exposures to auto classes are off of television and movies, like Grease. So how often is it that you just break out into song during working on it?
I have a stereo, and when the students are doing well, I turn on the radio.
Do they choreograph a dance of some sort?
No, we don't.
Well, I'm just being honest here, but I think you're gonna lose points to the students on that one. Is there some sort of special outfit that must be worn while working with cars?
Safety glasses.
Safety glasses?
Safety glasses, yeah.
So as far as the clothes, there's no real...
Well, we follow federal safety guidelines. I need to have a trouser with a full leg, and I need to have a solid shoe. It can be a canvas shoe, but I've got to have a solid shoe over the toes. And at all times, the safety glasses.
When somebody isn't wearing that, are they exempt from the class? Are they no longer able to participate?
I try to find activities for them that don't require the glasses. It might be a written activity. It might be a different hands-on activity that doesn't produce the flying particles. But I try to keep everybody busy at all times.
And if you could explain this class in one word, what would that word be?
Technology.
Technology. It has come a long way, from modern day cars to carts made out of wood. I decided to investigate more of where it started, in the Woodshop. After being denied for several months, I finally got that interview with Mr. Alan Erdahl. Can I start with a bit of a controversial question?
Sure.
Alright, are you pro-tree or pro-wood products?
Actually it's both, because we need trees to build the product.
So, exactly how many trees go through Woodshop a year?
We go through about $10,000 in lumber every year.
Really?
And that varies depending on how expensive the wood is. Walnut, more money for less wood. Pine, more wood for less money. So it depends.
I see. Well, I can tell this is going to be heated. You mind if I take off my jacket?
Please do.
Yeah, he said give me a minute.
I like that.
Thanks. So, exactly what makes Woodshop so interesting?
Well, it's interesting in the matter that you get to create something out of a chunk of wood. What once was a tree that we all know and love becomes a nice product that you can use and is very aesthetically pleasing to look at.
I see. And Woodshop is usually male-dominated. What are your opinions on women in the workshop?
The more the merrier.
The more the merrier.
They do tend to perform better than the guys, generally speaking, anyway. So I wish more would come through.
And how many injuries have you seen?
Have I seen in the last week or in the last year?
The last semester.
Between now and last semester, 0.
0 injuries. Are they fairly common to have an injury or so?
No, maybe one every 2 years. A person might need to go to the nurse to get a finger bandaged up because the tip got a little mangled on a blade.
Right.
Nothing too severe yet.
Every 2 years.
Yeah.
Do you think that Woodshop has an overall positive impact on students?
Definitely. Most students have told me that it's the highlight of their school day.
That right there proves it all. These are pretty amazing classes.
Wow. All I can say is wow.
I know, Garrett, and come September, you know what classes will be filled?
Intro to foods.
Well, yeah, pretty much.
But, well, woodshop, metals, and automotive technologies will be closely behind.
Thank you, Jacob, for informing us on these rather interesting electives. Good night or good afternoon. Whichever it is, have a nice day.